Start at www.qb.pl in 91 languages, in chapter TS001. 2 objectives. They need 2 goals. Closer goal, that is, wanting to take the next step. And further goal, that is, where are these steps to lead? The formulation of these 2 goals is a joy to exist for both the grower and the robot. It gives breaks that prevent the pin from sticking in the ear and determines the sense of existence and the need to fight for a goal. Today, only by defining goals only, let alone whether someone understands them or whether they are just slogans, one could stop the wave of suicides. The direct factor leading to suicide waves is the devaluation of the value of the goals in the eyes of the group. E.g., due to the fall of some authority or ideology. I ignore irrational reasons such as the approaching 3000, etc. I also omit the voodoo that excludes the individual who ate the forbidden black hen meat started to lose weight because he thinks he must die. He was excluded from his world by the group, the village world. And there is nothing for him outside the village to endow with and for which other rights could be declared. His brain, grown in the world of a Negro village, has already blamed him and his self-condemnation to death has come to pass. The voodoo algorithm also made my great-grandfather in the Russian partition smack his head under the table out of shame that he farted in front of the ladies. Even though the previous night he and his fellow officers ran naked in a brothel with a peacock feather in his bottom powdered with French pink. But there must be order. Thus, there are several basic difficulties to growing the right ointment and size for a robot. The first difficulty is that a bred object cannot be deprogrammed so easily. The second difficulty is that the object constantly has to segregate new information in deciding what is right and what is wrong. This results in the third difficulty that the division into good and evil cannot be reprogrammed once. It is impossible to modify the original axioms of judging what is good and what is bad, because the entire superstructure will collapse in the mind of the cultivated object. Remember the clay your mother. O sweet Ishtar, lover of my body. These are the lips of the city of Barrow, dry with longing for you. It is easier to kill a farm, individual or group. You can also avoid absolute truths by introducing democracy, which is an immoral and, above all, unethical creation. Ants ranging from all sides to the stone of truth. Which way will they move it? For what? The fourth difficulty is deciding what is right and what is absolutely wrong, but with a closer goal in mind. It can be expected that at a certain speed of the robot taking steps, the number of judgment decisions will, along with the experience gained by the robot, inhibit walking, unless the robot automates certain thinking reflexes, and the decisions made will be reduced to the needs of closer goals and they will no longer be absolute. Take, for example, hissing against the wind. The repetition of closer goals will make decisions similar to each other, which will result in a bias of judgment. For example, terrorists and hostages can be murdered to get rid of the problem of terrorism. Or, you can eat sausages from sick pigs and healthy, chemical-laden pigs claiming to be the same thing. You can also murder all the inhabitants of the fortress, even those who helped open the gates. Inspector it not for the co-stabilizer itself. A fly flying into the light hits the glass and does not know that you have to enter a small dark gap in the doorframe to actually get outside. She would have to drop the "light is good" priority from her software at least once. Take a few steps back to break the glass. But the fly won't do it. Maybe it's honor hindering it, or maybe a sentence that has been buzzed by the spirit of flies for millennia. The fact that we find dead flies in front of the glass. Not understanding good and bad and knowing it lead the robot to fear the next decision. Not only is he unable to make a decision, it's even worse that he cannot visualize the next step. So, it doesn't know the next closer target. Don't cry. Better kill the robot farm, the individual or even the entire group. In fact, it does not matter what steps the robot follows to reach the further goal, i.e. the superior one. However, this is perceived differently by the robot, which would like to achieve a further goal as soon as possible, because it is aware of passing away. Start at www.qb.pl in 91 languages, in chapter TS001.